In my last video, I did some pattern tests with these estate buckshots right here for the 12 gauge. This time I'm going to do pretty much the same thing, except I'm going to use both the Rio Royal bucks here and the estate buckshots to compare the two to see if there's any real difference between the spreads at all. And I'm going to be using that same piece of wood with my rough outline on it again. But just so we don't get too confused with too many holes from all these pellets this time, I'm just going to go ahead and put a piece of cardboard, actually it's the top of a pizza box, but I'm just going to put one of these over the top, and then we'll switch them out with each shot, so that way we'll be able to save the patterns on each piece of cardboard as well and not get too confused from all the holes like I said. So anyways, I'll be using the Winchester Model 1300 Defender with the 18-inch barrel again, and I'll be shooting from exactly 30 feet away at first, and then I'll step back and take some more shots from exactly 75 feet away. First we're going to try the Rio Royal buck from exactly 30 feet away. Here goes shot number one. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the first Royal buck pattern from exactly 30 feet. Got a pretty nice wadding impact down there on the left corner. So anyways, let's go ahead and get measurements on this. So 7.5 inches sideways and 5.5 inches about the other way, so about 7.5 by 5 or 5.5 on the first shot there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all on target. Wadding hit here. Must have bounced out, I'm sure. And it even took the tape off down here, but so there's the first Royal buck shot from exactly 30 feet. Let's go ahead and try a second one now. So here's shot number two. Again, all 9 on target. That's where the wadding hit that time. And I saw it come all the way back where I was shooting, so it flew or bounced more than 30 feet backwards. But it was going really slow. You could just see it like floating through the air almost. Hopefully it's on camera, that'll be cool. But anyways, let's take a look at the spread now. This time we got about 5.5 by 5.5. So that's pretty even. 5.5 by 5.5 about exactly. So that's the second shot from the Rio from exactly 30 feet. And I decided I'm just going to go ahead and do 2 shots of each. So now let's go ahead and try the estate. Go ahead and take a look at the spread on the estate shell. All 9 hit target again, but we got 2 right on top of each other right there. So 3 hits right there in about a less than an inch apart from each other. Wadding hit right there in the center, you can tell. Bounced off again. Now let's check the spread. About 9 inches this time by about 5. So about 9 by 5 on the first estate. Maybe 4 3/4. Anyways, let's go ahead and try the second estate shell and see what happens. Here's the second estate shell from exactly 30 feet. Once again, pellets right on top of each other, but two of them this time, or four altogether. Two different pairs within about a ½ inch, even tighter right there. So all 9 pellets on target still. Wadding bounced off there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the spread. About 7 inches that way by 5, so about 7 by 5 on that second shot. But again, pellets right on top of each other. So if you look at these results from the estates versus the Rios from just 30 feet, there's the estates. Each one had pellets on top of each other, while the Rios were more evenly spread out. As you can tell, there's the Rio number 1, and there's the Rio number 2. There's the estate number 1 right there, and the estate number 2. So I'm kind of liking the Royal Buck spread a little more, because I like how they're not on top of each other. I mean, that could be cool, I guess, if that's the effect you want, but anyways, let's go ahead and step back to exactly 75 feet and try that same thing again and see what results we get then. Alright, so first I gotta tell you, for these next shots, I'm actually gonna have this new target here, which is a full outline of me standing all the way up, versus my last one here, which is an outline of me in a crouching position. But I'm also not going to put any cardboard on this one because it doesn't have any holes. And I'm going to shoot it with 2 Royal Bucks and then 2 estates from exactly 75 feet. Okay, I got the other board set up now. But from back at the 75-foot spot, I can't really find a good position to set up the camera to watch me shoot. So this time I'm just going to go ahead and set the camera up here to watch the impacts directly. And we're just going to go ahead and try the same thing though. So first, it's going to be 1 Rio Royal Buck from exactly 75 feet away. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at that first Royal Buck from 75 feet. We got our hits here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So most of them are on target. One's off up here a little. That one might have just skinned me or something, but most of them in the center mass here, which is pretty good. Let's go ahead and look at the spread from that top one way out there, way up there, all the way down here to that bottom one. We got about 21 inches. And then from side to side, seems like the furthest it goes is that one on the side of my neck there, and that one out there. So only about 12 inches that way. So this first shot was about 21 by 12 with 2 potential misses. But let's go ahead and try shot number 2, Rio Royal Buck from exactly 75 feet again. So here's the results from our second Royal Buck from 75 feet. All 9 pellets hit within my silhouette this time, except these 3 up here that are really close together. They all might have just skimmed the top of my shoulder again, but anyways, here's where all the hits are. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now let's go ahead and look at the measurements. So from that last one on my shoulder there to the other one over there, the furthest one is 16.5 inches about. And then the other way, from the top one there to the bottom one here, we got about 17 inches. So So that second shot was about 16.5 by 17, or really close to just an even 17 by 17 on that shot. Anyways, now I'm going to cover up these holes with duct tape, and then we'll try our estates. Now here's our results from the first estate shell from exactly 75 feet. We got a hit way down here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 over there on the side of my arm. Let's get a measurement on the spread. So from that very top one up there to the very bottom one down there, we got about 20 and a quarter inch spread maybe. And sideways this time, from the furthest one there to the furthest one there, we got about 15 and a half. So this time it was about 21 by 15 or so, around there. Now let's go ahead and seal up these wounds with some more duct tape and try the second shot.